We have three shades of Bud Light news. We have the fake, we have the murky, and we have the regrettably true. So without further ado, let's take a look. And obviously, man, as much as I would love to say that this was true or this was real, I think you know exactly of the three which one this is right here. But yeah, I really wish that that sign right there was something that you could catch out there in the wild, but yeah, made for a hell of a viral TikTok earlier today. We have geolocated. This is a tweet, National Conservative. Okay, I have geolocated the video in the corner of King W and West King Street and West Queen in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, they're real places. Toronto's a fucking crazy place. There is a permanent billboard at this location. If there is a video, if this video is fake, it is very sophisticated fake because there are electrical wires in the way. Yeah, we don't need to have any sound or anything like that, but as you can see, yeah, it's just somebody. You can kind of see it's a bit flumpy right there, but it looked. It's stupid enough that somebody would think that that would be the next logical leap and a smart thing to do out of the Anheuser-Busch Corporation. Listen, man, they've already went with yeah, we're not really sorry. Here's a bunch of horses to distract you from the fact that we're pushing tranny nonsense on top of your working class beer. We don't really care about you. We're just taking you for granted. But even this seemed maybe a little bit too far, but you could get away with that in Toronto because they would just go, okay, sorry, we'll just go out there and buy the Bud Light, eh? But yeah, someone in Toronto needs to run out and see if that billboard is really real. I can confirm InBev products. Yes, I have advertised on this exact billboard before, showing a picture of Michelob Ultra. Yeah, that's up there. So yeah, no, is a real billboard, but somebody sees this. Okay, yeah. Saw the photo first circulating on Twitter. I say, I know that intersection, so I went to look. Sigh. It would have been really funny, though. Yeah, exactly. So you got a superimposed version right above Heroes Bar, but it actually has something just as gay with a Disney Plus ad over top of it. So, unfortunately, it is false. And now we have something that is somewhat murky. Benny Johnson. Talked about him before. He works in some form or fashion with Turning Point USA as a journalist or guest or whatever. He's one of those kind of inflammatory tradcons that are out there. I don't think he's terribly bad. He's not the first person that comes to mind whenever it comes to the commentary sphere, whenever it comes to politics or the things in the social zeitgeist. Every once in a while, he gets something that's all right and fine, but he's been leaning very heavily on the more clickbaity side of reporting. So I seen the headline and it's like, well, how do you even know? Like, sales reports aren't going to come out until the end of the summer, but do you got any substance that's right here? But then I also seen the fact check of integrity, and it's like, there's got to be a little bit more to this. Bud Light official sales report just released. 50% drop in sales, total collapse, bankruptcy. Well, maybe not bankruptcy. I don't know. I've been guilty of putting bankruptcy in one of the many hundreds of titles. I think we're on like a dozen videos on the subject. It's not as bad, okay? I mean, a lot of people have done a hell of a lot more, but I like to keep it sophisticated and wrap everything up into one specific video, except for the time where we got to talk about, how stupid Howard Stern was, but then he waded into the Bud Light stuff. So, whoa, you got your own video. Whoa, what do you think about that, Robin? But okay, Benny makes a strong assertion, links out to a video. Watch it at your own discretion. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't watch. All I'm telling you is I'm not. But readers have added this context. The 50% figure of the title is misleading because it appears to be made up. What? Why would you say it's misleading if it's something that you can verifiably say is just made up? Interesting. The video sourced article makes clear that the first week in April shows that sales dropped nearly 7%. A year-to-date drop of 0.4%. It is unclear when Mr. Johnson arrived at the 50% figure. Oh, I don't know. It's YouTube and need to attract people's attention. How about that? But what about this? Okay, so did Bud Light sales drop 50%? What we know. You did something right if Newsweek is checking in on you. Holy. But even with the new tone and tenor as to the Twitter 2.0 headquarters, which it's kind of funny watching people lose their mind over the fact that, oh my god, I don't get undue justification and all of the attention I was getting from my blue check mark. It actually doesn't mean anything because now I gotta pay for it. Like, what the fuck? God, it's kind of funny and there's been some epic meltdowns, but I don't really care that much. Anyways, Bud Light and its parent company, Anheuser-Busch, have faced a wave of backlash following the company's decision to partner with transgender activist and influencer Dylan Mulvaney. A new data report shows how the criticism has affected the company. On Thursday, conservative commentator Benny Johnson posted a video to YouTube with the title claiming that this is in Newsweek. Actual Newsweek, by the way. 50% in the title is misleading and appears to be made up. Since the start of April, Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch has faced criticism and calls to boycott the beer company after Mulvaney posted a video on Instagram. Several. One was, yes, sitting down going, "Yay, team." And then another one was, regrettably in a tub. I've seen that far more times than I've ever wanted to in my entire life, and that's why I was kind of looking forward to not having to talk about this subject, but here we are, which includes a, customized Bud Light can with that's face on it. Across the United States, controversy comes amid a wider debate about transgender rights. Which rights are you looking for exactly? The ones to take over, infiltrate different spaces, to get undue treatment, to capitulate the will of the people to the 0.38% of people? We need to get specific here, but okay. Such as trans people partnering with big brands. No, you can do whatever you want. This is just the expected outcome going forward. Inclusion of transgender women in female spaces like sports, or like other articles that are popping up today and ones that have before. You just get some predators that are out there saying, "I'm a woman." Okay, ma'am, just right here to this change room, and then all of a sudden you see some kids fleeing the area because they expose their feminine penis to the children. Yeah, that stuff's going on right now. In Johnson's video, he discusses a report from Brewbound, a news site focused on beer industry, which details new data on recent Bud Light sales from NIQ, formerly Nielsen Intelligent Quotient, provided by Dave Williams of Bump Williams, Bump It Up Consulting, for the week ending in April 8th. All right, so the first week, directly after the Mulvaney crap. Off-premise dollar sales for Bud Light declined by 7%. While dollar share by volume declined by 3.7% and 10.7% respectively. According to Brewbound, for weeks prior, dollar sales of Bud Light declined by 0.1%, the site reported, citing the data from Williams. So it's actually a little bit more flushed out than what Twitter was reporting to use as their sterling fact-check service. Interesting. That being said, while the increased declines for Bud Light were apparent, they were also not completely earth-shattering in terms of magnitude. Now, this will be an interesting move to monitor over the upcoming weeks to see if the slide continues, but for now, it looks to be rough, but not catastrophic. Catastrophic? Well, it all kind of depends, because the tone and tenor, well, it always used to be around light beer that you were kind of if you were drinking and that was your go-to brew of choice. But now with the connotations around Bud Light and the lingering peer pressure, and it's like, oh wow, here, make sure you go out there next time you go to a mechanic, you get your oil topped up, your windshield fluid all done as well. Make sure that you check that tranny fluid. That's kind of what you're getting when you go down to the bar this weekend and you ask for Bud Light, but I highly doubt anybody's going to be doing that. But it's interesting that Newsweek points this out as well, okay? Across the United States, the controversy comes amid a wider debate about the relation of transgender rights. What exactly don't they have that they're trying to fight for? It's really, nothing really springs to mind. Like, they always talk about this trans genocide. Well, you guys are kind of doing that to yourself, and I don't think anybody's taken to the streets. Well, you have a general distaste, and you don't really want them to, sexualize children or anything like that. Grown adults doing grown adult things, that's fine. You go over there. You're just being overrepresented in media right now, and that's kind of a sticking point. That is a bone of contention for so many people that are out there, and lots of people are pointing it out. And also, right now, the new hotness when it comes to demonetization and even full-on censorship on YouTube is around this issue. I've said multiple times before, very recently as well, that June is going to be the Super Bowl of this absolute nonsense. Pride Month this year is going to be even creepier, even wilder, even more absurd than any one in the past. Any videos featuring both Matt Walsh and referencing his commentary on Dylan Mulvaney are being purged on YouTube. Topics discussing Dylan Mulvaney or trans people in general are being heavily shadow banned. This started roughly Sunday/Monday this week. It's interesting. It's interesting because I had a fairly successful video for my channel, like 17,000 views, which shout out to you guys if you came through off of that video. I appreciate it very, very much. And, you know, I've been very cognizant of the fact that my channel's been shadow banned, and I've provided different sources, and I can show you, you know, the impression bar that goes straight up and then gets yeeted right across. When it comes to that video, the 17,000 view video, that one didn't get shadow banned at all. It had a nice, easy slope when it comes to news stories, and that's the way that you can expect it, right? Like, it'll come across and it'll start to go up after a while, and then there's a nice easy transition. It's not just up and then across. That's when YouTube intervenes, and that's what he means by shadow banning. At least that's my interpretation of the facts. I don't know what the Quartering has to say about this. I'm sure he'd probably make 75 videos on it. This is the same guy who thought that the trans issue is just a fringe issue, but he's also cranked out like 100 videos on this topic since the beginning of the month. Love the work ethic, just don't really like the ethic part of that. But now that it finally hits home, now that he is finally seeing videos taken down from his channel, well, of course, now he's going to be the fighter for justice, the fighter for good. A couple of other people as well have also chimed in on the topic. This Mars fellow also seems to have other videos taken down in regards to this. Beyond Mean Words, Matt Walsh, Dylan Mulvaney, transgender. That was where this initial dust up really happened, when the Quartering said, Matt Walsh should be so mean to Dylan Mulvaney. You need to win this. You need to win this confrontation with the utmost morals and respect. He's still trying to push that 2006 Republican narrative where we're the party of dignity and morals. Yeah, that ship sailed a long fucking time ago, you humble coffee merchant. I got nothing I'm not a big fan of the Quartering. I thought he did some good stuff, and then he ended up showing his real true cuck colors when Sydney Watson came around. But his Eliza Blue stuff, it still holds up when he had an axe to grind, and then going after Tim Pool, who also seems to be getting hit by this. He has 2 videos removed on his channel. It's like, okay, if guys as banal as the Quartering and Timcast are getting hit, and then they demonetized Matt Walsh's entire channel, ooh, sorry about that Daily Wire contract. That's going to come out of your bottom line, my friend. And even Sarah Gonzalez, who's talking about this, she works for The Blaze, and all of these middling talents have to get put on by a company in order to do anything. And that's why I'm really happy about the changes that Rumble's making. I just checked right before recording this. It's like, it looks like Rumble's having a bit of a problem right now. At least it didn't auto-load my account on the app. That if you're using an Android, finally there was an update, and now you can actually live chat if there's a live stream that's going to be going on. And funnily enough, I got the live stream on Saturday where we're going to be talking about what the common parlance is around the manosphere, and what people on the street think, and then also me further clarifying my positions on it. We're going to be watching some It's Complicated videos, and probably some other shit as well. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, if you'd like to stop by. And I would encourage you to do that, because it's a hell of a lot of fun. We got a good little community going right there. But I'm just saying, man, I can do that stuff whenever the fuck I want, okay? Because it's my platform. I built this up from the ground, and you guys have made this possible for as long as I've been around. But everybody else that's on there, yeah, they're feeling the backlash from this. Tim Pool, as much as I detest him, and he's kind of a big reason why I started my channel, because I thought that he was just not very good at what he does. But again, somebody who is a beacon of hard work eventually pays off. He started his own thing, and well, yeah, he has 2 videos that are removed on his channel. When he eventually comes back, I don't know if he's been censored or banned or anything like that. Frankly, I don't give that too much, or I don't give too much of a fuck about that, because he still called everyone out there that wanted him to discuss the Eliza Blue situation, "You're all bots. This is all a PR campaign." I don't forget. And then as for Matt Walsh, It's like, okay, cool. Your entire shtick was supposed to be, oh, what is a woman? But now your entire channel's demonetized, so that's a bridge too far. Are you actually going to push back against all of that nonsense from big tech, or are you just going to soften your message in order to capitulate to your overlords at Daily Wire? This is going to be a very interesting time. Like I said, Super Bowl, June 2023, there's going to be a lot of shit on the table, and if you're not allowed to talk about it on YouTube because they're getting rid of all of that conversation because trans rights are human rights and trans women are real women, well, guess what? You got to go to other alternative platforms if you aren't going to bend, if you aren't going to break, if you are not going to fold in the face of this societal absurdity. So, with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it, and I'll catch you over on Rumble. If you ever miss me, 3 times a day when it comes to videos, 2 streams on YouTube every week, and then a special one over on Rumble, where you're always going to be able to find me. See y'all in the next set. Enjoy the beginning of your weekend. Take care, everyone.